Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast. Oh, God. What are we doing? Today is going to be a mess because it is now episode 400. This absolutely ridiculous show made it to episode 400. And it's going to be fun. We got a little bit of news, and we'll bang that out of the way real quick. But today is going to be, a little walk down memory lane. If you've been watching the Free-to-Play Cast for a couple of weeks, welcome. If you've been watching it for years, welcome. We love you both. We love you all. And we hope you enjoy today's show because we got some special guests here that are going to hang out with us. Give us updates on what they've been doing, talk about some free-to-play games, and, just generally hang out. First up, Mr. Jason Winter. What's up, sir?
I'm glad we're doing a nice, simple cast, just 3 hosts like normal. So, you know, nothing too weird going on.
Nothing too crazy.
Keep it simple.
Too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Also, Q, what's up?
I can't believe you pulled me away from watching the Genshin Impact stream for this.
Oh, you can get back to Genshin Impact after that. Also, the man, the myth, the legend, the noob fridge himself, Mr. Troy Blackburn. What's up, sir?
Audio's not muted. Mic's not muted. Camera's in proper orientation. Judging by the setup for this stream, I'm a little ahead of the curve.
You are ahead of the curve. You're ahead of chat, too, who kept telling me your mic is muted and then found out that they had just muted their damn streams. Whatever. Mr. Wilfredo Rivera, what's up?
Yeah.
You ready to do this?
Yes, I am. Are you? Are you okay? Do you need help?
I don't know. Discord is like freaking out right now a little bit because it's just there are too many people on this line. Also on the line, going back a little bit from MMO Huts to MMO Bombs to my.com, then now my.games, and then beyond. The man himself, Spunkify. What's up, sir? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Good to be back on here. It's definitely a blast from the past.
Definitely a blast. You were the hardest to get a hold of. But
I kind of dropped off social media.
You did. Like I was going to hit you on Twitter, and I was like, dude hasn't tweeted since 2018. Like I don't know what he's doing these days. So we'll do the little catch up in a minute here after we introduce the other hosts. I'm sure he didn't look at the show notes. I'm sure he doesn't care what's in the show notes. I'm sure he's just going to talk about whatever the hell he wants to talk about anyway, and that's Havoc. How are you, sir?
Wait, show notes?
Yeah, show notes.
What?
They're the notes I send you to say, this is what we're going to talk about, and you just 100% ignore. Yeah. I don't even know if he's talking.
Like most of the show. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, like most of the show. Get off of her porch. If you're not selling chocolate, get the hell off of her porch.
Okay.
It's Demina. How are you?
Hi. Happy to be here.
That was
I
really
can't believe
loud.
that we're on. Sorry.
That's
I yell, whatever. I can't believe that this is 400 episodes of something that started out as, hey, I kind of might like to do this in our basement.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean,
crazy. I'm really proud of this.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm sure someday we'll do something professional, but not while Brim is here. What's up, Brim?
Oh, is that me?
That is you. Look at that beard, man.
Yeah, it's coming in nicely.
Damn.
That's my 2020 beard.
That's your COVID beard.
That's right.
COVID beard. Did I
Glad
miss
to be
anybody?
back.
I'm just like looking at the panel here, making sure I got everybody. Yes, all right. We introduced everybody. So, yes, we've got new faces, old faces, current faces from basically all eras of the Free-to-Play Cast to hang out with us today. Quickly, before we go through and talk to everybody, get an update on where everybody is. Jason, there is a little bit of bigger news this week that I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't bring up here. As NCSoft did announce the continuation, what they're calling kind of the conclusion of the primary Lineage story with Lineage W. Now, what the hell is this? Because I'm already getting emails from people like Old Glory telling me, oh, God, this is going to be bad. Big-time Lineage fans that are a little skeptical, a little nervous about this one.
So if you're wanting the quick rundown, because we've got this packed show and whatever, I'll say sounds neat, looks like crap.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah.
just generally because, they're going with the mobile, right? And
Well,
it
yeah,
will
it's
be
gonna
on
be on
PC
PC
and
too,
all
yeah,
that stuff too, but it's, very mobile. But Genshin Impact, by the same token, does the same thing. Primarily mobile, but does well.
But it looks like
on-
a game that came out in like 2020.
Well, they said that was intentional too, though, which was very weird. Like we intentionally kept blocky combat animations for Lineage and Lineage 2 fans that liked that. We did. That seems really lazy.
That's like
So
one
they're
of the
being
worst things to keep.
retro.
Yeah, they're being retro.
That's for the hardcore gamers out there.
The
You want to get
hardcore
sick
Lineage
while they're trying
gamers.
to do something.
Exactly. Oh, well. You can check it out. We gave a full breakdown on the site. There's also new giveaways up, a bunch of different giveaways, and we just replenished our Space Punks keys, thanks to the team over at Space Punks. We'll be streaming that after the show today as our free-to-play stream, checking out their newest big-ass talent update. But if you need access to that game, we do have more keys. Thank you to the Space Punks team, and stick around after the show to check it out. But now we've got everybody on the line here. Troy, Wilfredo, Jason, Q. We're going to step away from you cats just for a minute. I want to go through some of the older hosts and give them a chance to kind of say hi, talk about what they've been doing, catch us up. Spunkify, we'll start with you because you kind of left. You went from MMO Hots, then you came to MMOBomb. When you left MMOBomb, it was actually to go do free-to-play gaming stuff, if I'm not mistaken, right? With, at the time, my.com, and was it Armored Warfare that you jumped on initially?
Right. So when I left MMOBomb, so I was at MMOBomb for 3+ years, almost 4 years, I believe, if I can recall. Went from there, worked at my.com. I was the community manager for my.com, specifically for Skyforge, if you guys remember Skyforge.
Oh, yeah. We still cover it.
Oh, there you go. So I covered that pretty extensively as the primary English community manager in North America, which was a blast. I actually did that from home as well, so not too much different from what I was doing on MMOBomb. But from there, I actually ended up, because at the time, Obsidian Entertainment was working alongside Mod.com, doing a little bit of consultation work on Skyforge. Simultaneously, they were also working on the Armored Warfare, World of Tanks competitor game. And so just through proximity, I was able to sort of jump on and join the Obsidian Entertainment team. So I worked for Obsidian Entertainment for close to 3 years on Armored Warfare, and as all things in gaming sphere and gaming development goes, when Obsidian's contract for Armored Warfare was up, I was on to the next project.
Damn.
That's just how it goes in the industry, unfortunately.
Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
It's the unfortunate other side of that. And so, post that, I was at the same time, I had a company that I had developed back in 2013. It happens to be cannabis related. So I worked in that.
That's funny. We were just discussing on last week's show or the week before the best ways for your edibles prior to the free-to-play cast.
Well, there you go. So I made this company. It actually ended up taking off and doing extremely well. And long story short, I now managed several locations for my company across Eastern and West Coast. So East and West Coast, we've got a couple locations. I'm actually based here in Maryland now. Before I was in California when I was doing MMOBomb. And I've been doing this since 2017.
Damn. My man. And, you got the wife, you got a kid now, life moves on.
Got a kid. 2-year-old, didn't have a kid at all at the time I was doing MMOBomb. I've got a 2-year-old kid now. Actually fighting cancer. That's another sort of like big milestone of mine that's somewhat different. But just a lot of curveballs throughout the last 6 years or so post MMOBomb for sure.
All right. Well, I did not know that last piece, so obviously we all hope everything works out the best for you there. But
thank you.
I do want to ask you. There was a time, and I had seen and even played a little bit and given some feedback on a Spunkify original game. It was like if I remember right, it was a tactics-based video game, like a real-time strategy mover type thing. Is that still a thing? Have you developed that project anymore, or has it kind of fallen by the wayside for a little bit?
No, that project's pretty much done as it is now. I do have other sort of. I was lucky enough when I worked at Obsidian Entertainment to sort of develop a few other concepts, right? Video game concepts and pitch proposals. A couple of those went on to be stuff after I left the team. The ones that I directly were more involved with, like many things, never made it out of internal development. So I from while I am a business owner and I'm not actually in the gaming industry, from a day-to-day perspective anymore, I am still definitely interested in wanting to get back into game development at some point. I think at some point I might as well look at sort of developing my own studio or something like that. I don't think I'll go back to just being a day-to-day person.
You don't want to be
in
a cog in the wheel anymore.
It's more of just like, stability. You don't really realize, everyone sees the glamour, but no one really sees the, hey, every 2.5 years between projects, you're changing studios.
Yep. And I mean, you, from the days of reporting on it, it was like, okay, this game's launched, so in 3 weeks we'll be reporting about layoffs.
Exactly.
Well, let's catch up with you in a second on some of the games you might be looking at. Let's go over to Mr. Havoc. Havoc, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
It's been a while since you've been on the show. You've been doing some stuff over on Ready Check Radio, hanging out on the streams and hanging out with chat and doing stuff there. But we haven't seen you on a cast in a while. So what have you been doing over the last few years, whether it be gaming related, not gaming related? Let's catch up with the angry one himself.
Angry? I don't know about all that.
Dude, you're always angry on this show. And I know what your weekly bomb is, and you're going to be angry about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have a right to be. So
that's true. That's true. So what have you been doing? Like, do I got to cue that again?
Yeah. Go ahead and throw that back to me again.
Hey, so what have you been doing?
Hey, buddy. Really just working. Like that's pretty much all I do. Yeah, this is just work, man.
What are you playing these days? You
the
used to
time.
be like deep into WoW. I know you're not into that anymore. You kind of left that years ago. But what about in the gaming world? What are you doing these days? Yeah, Kiri in chat. He did play ESO for a while. He did play Elder Scrolls.
I did play that with the baby gear for a little bit. I was playing Borderlands for a little bit. What else was I playing?
That's about it.
MLB The Show, but I mean that nobody really cares about hearing about that game. I mean, it's literally just the same thing over and over and over again. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't really gamed much. Like I said, it's mainly just been working because the new job and everything. So
got to pay the bills.
True that.
All right, let's slide over then. Damina, give us a little catch up here. I'm sure chat wants to know if you've kicked anybody off of your porch lately, where you're doing your gaming, what games have gotten you, what games have fallen by the wayside over the years.
Well, I have not kicked anybody off the porch recently. I was kind of just waiting for this to kick all of you off the porch. And here we are.
That makes sense.
So,
that seems legit.
Get off my porch.
Wilfredo has no clue what's going on. Like, no clue what's going on. He has never hosted a single show with any of these people, so he's just kind of like, what is going on here? What have you been playing lately, Damina? I know that you've been dabbling in some free-to-play games and not free-to-play games, but what's on the plate right now?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but Rocket League has been something that I've been playing on the free-to-play front recently.
Jason's already got a smirk on his face.
Yeah. I also played ESO for a little while. And recently, most of what I've been doing is playing Taxi Driver to Our Children. So, I mean, that's really kind of what I've been up to. Besides that, I'm a nurse. I worked through this pandemic, which was a little bit crazy. Thankfully, not a hospital setting. I am a home health nurse, but I'll tell you what, it was stressful nonetheless. So there wasn't too much time for me for gaming, but when I was able to do it, it's a good de-stressor.
Is there anything you'd like to say to those people that might need to go get a vaccination? Get a vaccination?
How much time do we have?
No.
How much time do we have? Go do it. I mean, it is what it is.
Last but certainly not least, Brim, I think you've probably had like the wildest change in your gaming attitudes and things you did. For those of you that don't know, way back when, Brim was in the WoW Guild that Havoc and I and other free-to-play cast hosts like Hera and Zara, and obviously not every historical host is on the show. We couldn't get everybody together; it would just be even more of a mess. But there's nobody here not missing because we didn't want them here. That's not that type of show. But so yeah, Brim used to play a ton of video games, and then decided, you know what? I'd rather train to be able to lift Buicks up over my head. So now he benches like 700 pounds and deadlifts, 1,500. And I mean, just absolutely staggering numbers. But you and your girlfriend at the time, now married, you've moved on a little bit. Give us the update.
So, yeah, I mean, you pretty much nailed it to a T. I was just going to say that I crawled into a hole and you sent me some smoke signals to come back on here.
I did. I had to. Well, you're out at the farm now, so.
So, yeah, pretty drastic change in my personal life. Nothing dramatic happened. It's just I got married. We moved out to the country. I did not have time for video games. We now have 56 chickens, 14 pigs, 3 goats, 4 dogs, 9 turkeys. We raise our own meat and vegetables.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm at right now.
This chicken that we're showing here in the group shot, that is actually one of Brim's chickens. Him and the chicken, they spot each other.
So we go to the gym together.
That chicken's gotten pretty buff over the last couple of years.
Right, he makes me look bad.
He does. Well, he keeps you motivated.
Right.
Where did you move, Brim?
I am on the east side of Columbus. So I'm originally from Cincinnati. We moved to Columbus when my wife went to Ohio State, and then we moved about an hour east of that.
My wife has been egging me on to like move out into the country, disconnect from media, and just raise a farm. So you're an inspiration.
So yeah, I mean, it was like magicman said. I mean, I bet I gamed for 8 to 10 hours a day, and we basically got rid of the computer, got rid of the TV, got rid of the Xbox.
Well, I guess that answers Kiri's question in chat. Have you broken any PCs lately? I'm sure we'll get to that a little bit later, but the answer is no, because you don't have. You do occasionally hit up the Nintendo Switch a little bit, though.
I do, yeah.
But other than that, no PlayStation, no Xbox, no PC.
Yeah, just not enough. Until we learn how to slow the rotation of the Earth, there's just not enough time in the day.
Gotta lift those weights. That chicken's gonna kick your ass. Right. That chicken knows what's up. Well, nice. Thank you for a little catch up on everybody there. So now we're kind of going to do a round robin here. So I'm going to put a question out there, and we'll just take it in order of the panel here. First, we're just going to talk about free-to-play in general, free-to-play games in general. And so on the 400th episode, I think we should look back, and whether you play it now or you played it at some time, it doesn't have to be something you are currently doing. But 400 episodes in, we've talked about a lot of games together over all of those episodes. I want to know right now, Jason, your favorite free-to-play game of all time. It doesn't even have to be live anymore, but if it were live, you'd probably still play it. Doesn't have to be something you play now, but it is the one you look fondly back on. What is Jason Winter's free-to-play game, favorite free-to-play game of all time, and why?
I suppose I'd still have to go with Guild Wars 2. Because I do still play it. It still is a good MMO, which is kind of hard to find these days, especially in the free-to-play space. And though I've had my issues with it and how they've done the cash shop on some things and so forth, I keep going back to it. But partially your fault, because when you were streaming it for a while, I'd been out for a while, and then I was like, oh, That's kind of neat. I want to get back into that. So
Why don't I get blamed for everything? I get blamed for you playing Guild Wars 2, for getting all these maniacs on one call. I just take the blame for all of it.
mm-hmm.
Havoc, you were into Guild Wars 2 for a little while.
Yeah, I like that game. I think that's actually one of the only free-to-play games that I've actually played for more than like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you were always the one coming to the shows just like, yeah, free-to-play games suck. This is the only one that's worth talking about. So I'm going to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play it at all with the new expansion in February, Havoc?
Maybe. I actually might. I re-downloaded it on a computer, but then I again got busy with work, and so didn't really get logged in and play. And same thing from what Jason said. I saw you playing it and was like, oh shit, man, I do kind of like that game. I kind of want to get back into that.
Well, there you go, Jason. I have now gotten you a partner that you can explore the world together.
Oh,
yeah.
Friends forever.
Yeah. Jason and Havoc.
Were you again?
Oh, that's right. Havoc, you stopped doing shows just before Jason came on. So yeah, you guys have never done a show together either.
I haven't done shows with like half the people on this cast.
Wait a minute. There's 9 of us.
Okay, so 3 I've never done a show with. A third of the people on this cast.
A third. All right, Q, you're up. Favorite free-to-play game of all time, as if I had to wonder what it is at this point.
I guess it would have to be Secret World.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
If they were still updating it, I would still be playing it.
Interesting. So, but that's weird though, because that Secret World was not free to play. Secret World Legends is.
Okay.
And I just can't see you go like you
World.
And I love the original Secret World a lot.
No, I played all the way through Legends too.
But I remember us talking about the combat system, and we didn't like some of the revamps they did, like pistols being very RNG and shit like that.
Okay, but again, I play games for the story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So if they were still updating Secret World Legends, that would be it.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it's, apparently Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact. That's where I thought you were going to go. Yeah, that's where I thought you were going to go. All right, Spunkify, you have never done a show with Troy. I'm going to ask you to predict Troy's favorite free-to-play game. What do you think it is? Just take a stab.
Well, I'm going to venture to say it is a lobby-based free-to-play game.
Oh,
it's not a persistent MMORPG.
Okay.
He seems like somewhat of a competitive kind of guy. So either a MOBA like League of Legends or Dota, or I'm going to go and say someone on the other shooter spectrum, something like Apex Legends or some other similar. I don't know like what are still like the accurate free to play games that people are playing that are shooters, but something in that.
He just buzzed out with the I don't know what the kids play these days.
On the free to play side, at least, you know.
All right, Troy.
Apex was a good choice, though. That is very popular.
That is a good
choice.
Good
job with that.
That is a good choice. How close was Spunkify to pegging your gaming personality first, and then your favorite free-to-play game of all time?
Much more in the ballpark than probably he thinks he is.
Yeah, when he was talking, I was like, no freaking way. This dude should close down the cannabis shops and open up some like fortune-telling places. Good grief.
Clearly, cannabis also makes you psychic, among all the other things.
Right.
So League of Legends would be number 2, right behind Smite, which I've spent more time and money on, and at the end of the day, enjoy quite a bit more.
Oh man, I should have included Smite too. I included Dota, but
I'm giving it to him. Because the way he worded it was probably a MOBA like League of Legends or Dota 2. So Smite, he nailed that. I mean, absolutely nailed it. That was not prearranged in any way, shape, or form. Spunkify had no idea that I was going to ask him to do that. That's impressive.
What can I say? You know, I used to be a host. There's some credit to that.
All right, Wilfredo, you're up. So I guess Domina, you have actually seen Free to Play Cast with Wilfredo on it, but I don't think we've asked Wilfredo this exact question. What's your all-time favorite? So Domina, I'm gonna let you guess Wilfredo's, knowing that you have a little bit more experience with Wilfredo than Spunkify did with Troy?
Oh my God, seriously? You're gonna put me on the spot like that? I think Wilfredo is hilarious, and that is why I love Wilfredo. I have no idea what his favorite game would be. None.
You got to take a guess.
Fortnite.
There's
It's
no
Fortnite. We're gonna Fortnite.
Oh.
That's
Fortnite.
sure.
The sheer amount of people that are shaking their head on this panel. Brim actually put his head into his hands.
Wilfredo looks like he's about to cry.
Wilfredo, I didn't realize you were 12 years old. I'm sorry. I thought you were older than that.
All right, Wilfredo, let's put this to bed real quick. Your favorite free-to-play game of all time, whether active or not, whether you play it right now or not, is not, in fact, Fortnite, is it?
No, not at all. Oh man, I'm so sad. So I
She
said
was like, well, that's really cool. She thinks I'm funny. Oh, I hate her.
I'm a 12-year-old. No. So couple episodes back, we were talking about favorite games, and I didn't incorporate my favorite game that may have been dead.
Yep.
I just told you the one that was active because I want people to check it out, which was Star Trek Online. But it's a dead game, WildStar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're one of the 6 people who liked it.
Oh, God.
Hey,
that's
two
true.
of the other
That's
people
true.
are on here.
Look, I'm not alone. But
I
yeah,
loved WildStar.
WildStar was awesome. It was just built poorly. It had so much potential, and they just put all the awesome stuff at endgame, and it was a grind all the way up to cap. So I would slit the throats of 5 games just to get WildStar back.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I did go there. Chat is
As long as it's been updated.
Chat is wondering why Troy did not actually disclose the fact that he loves Bless Unleashed. That is his favorite free-to-play game of all time. All right, Q, we're going to go with, see if the ladies can get a connection here. What is Demina's favorite free-to-play game of all time, Q?
Free-to-play game of all...
Oh,
Asking Q to make a prediction. That's half an hour to the show.
Well, it's because my brain can't hold things. I feel like it would be something story because since she plays like Final Fantasy and stuff with you, so I'm I don't know, WildStar as well.
WildStar. Demina, what is in fact your favorite free-to-play of all time?
It is Neverwinter.
Really?
Wow.
Well, I
Yes.
was right about it being story.
You were?
You
Yeah,
were.
definitely
by
were.
that. Jeez.
Yep, I really actually, I mean, there's no time to play anything. I really miss playing Neverwinter.
can I change mine?
We haven't gotten to you yet.
Oh, I thought mine was Guild Wars too. I thought that.
No, I was
Oh.
just linking you and Jason up.
Okay.
Just trying to find you somebody to play the game with.
Playing
Just trying to get me some
matchmaker.
friends. I need some friends.
So, Jason, then you got to predict Havocs. Go ahead.
Oh, well, wait, is it going to be Guild Wars or?
Well, I mean, he just
Well,
asked to
not
change
anymore,
it, so
no.
probably
Okay, well, that's
not.
going to be something else. Oh, okay, all right. I mean, he's angry, so what would be a good game for someone who's angry all the time? That sounds like League of Legends, but I'll go opposite of
Right.
that.
Ooh.
League of Legends isn't angry. League of Legends is just if you're an asshole.
So how about the latest thing on my Twitter is Destiny 2, so I'm gonna go with Destiny 2. Sure, why not? There we
Havoc,
go.
your favorite free-to-play game of all time is?
It is not Destiny 2, but it's close. Warframe.
Ah,
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they might have, that's more than close. Jason, I'm going to give you credit. If I'm going to
Yeah,
give
at least I would,
Spunkify
too.
credit for Smite, I'm going to give you credit for Destiny 2 / Warframe.
I
Somebody-
played the shit out of that game.
Yeah, you did. You liked Octavia. You were
Yep.
running around with the instruments all over the place.
Yep.
What was it about it? Because a lot of people don't like the repetition of those types of games. What kept you going when everything was going to be a variation of something you'd already done 50 times?
I don't know. Like it was just the repetition was actually like kind of calming. You know, like you just okay, you queue up, you go to the planet, you do your thing, you get back, you do it again, and you know it's just a grind for gear and everything. And I don't know, I really liked it. I liked the mechanics of like Octavia, you know, like the special attacks that she had with the drum and the ball that would roll around and everything. So I don't know, I just really liked it.
Mad Martha in chat agreeing with you, Havoc, saying that Warframe is theirs as well.
Nice.
As well. All right, Troy, Spunkify was pretty damn close on yours. So I'm going to ask you to predict Spunkify's now.
All I have to go on is some of the things he was talking about earlier, where his life has taken him. So I'm gonna say maybe something like War Thunder.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I see him play that all the time.
Yeah, literally. Jason and our eyes just got really big because on Steam all the time, that's what we see him playing is
Oh,
War
no.
Thunder.
I have 942 hours in War Thunder.
Oh wow!
What is see now there's a reason that all of these people have hosted the free-to-play cast at some point. At some point. They're
Looks
all
like we have 9
connected.
hosts. We really just have one. Just
Yeah.
one mind.
I mean, it's funny, right? Like, if you would have asked me working in the industry, I would have probably said League of Legends because it was the game that kind of got me into free-to-play gaming, and certainly it was the game that got me into my YouTube career, which led me to MMO Hut and MMOBomb, right?
Yeah.
But over more and more time, I began to loathe that genre more and more. So I kind of like went the opposite direction. And so I mean, when you work for a studio that's making a tank game, then all you play is tank games, right? So like I played Armor Warfare a lot, I played World of Tanks a lot, getting another competition. And ultimately I landed on it's kind of it sucks to say it, but I enjoyed War Thunder more than the game that I was working on. So I just ended up playing that, and I kind of put it aside for a while after I left Obsidian. But my son, when he saw me gaming, he's really into like monster trucks and big vehicles in general, right? And so he saw War Thunder, and he was really interested in the tanks in War Thunder. So now, whenever he wants to play a game, we just sit down, he sits in my lap, and we go and we shoot some tanks. So, in many ways, I would say, monetization wise, I severely dislike War Thunder, especially at the higher tiers. But from a pure gameplay loop, it's very satisfying, and I enjoy it the most out of that genre.
He just nailed it. I mean, he just nailed it. It was like, yeah, War Thunder. Next. And Spunkify was like, yeah, War Thunder. Next.
You got it. That being said, I am playing the free to. Did you know Final Fantasy 14? That's a free to play up until level 60.
Here we go.
It includes Heaven Sword.
Award-winning MMORPG.
Exactly.
All right, Wilfredo, you knew it was coming. I'm going to make you guess Brims. Now, keep in mind, obviously, he's not playing much on the free-to-play front besides Nintendo Switch these days, but I do know for a fact, and I feel like I could probably guess it, that he does have a favorite free-to-play game of all time. So what is Brims, Wilfredo?
It'd be tough. I want to say something on the lines of like SWTOR, but I'm pretty certain that I'm wrong.
Oh my god!
Dude, you freaking nailed it. You
What is
freaking
going
nailed it.
on?
I was gonna be like, man, I should probably offer a couple hints. Like, it didn't start out as free to play. It's been out for several years, and it's broken. So you guess, and holy crap, that is hilarious.
What? Okay, how the hell?
You realize how many games that describes that?
Right. What the hell took you to SWTOR?
Yeah.
Like, you have never talked to Brim at all besides the intro for this show, the first 25 minutes of this show. What led you to SWTOR? Because that's good. What is wrong with all of you?
Hey, look, great crazy minds think alike. I think it was because he had so much experience with WoW that, when something new came along that was something different, it was like, this is in the Star Wars universe. Yes, I'm down because it's still theme park based, still a lot of fun to play. Why not?
I mean, Brim just shaking his head.
Dude, I mean, you nailed it. The story was amazing. Yeah, rating was broken. We've talked about it on this podcast before. I mean, what, 6 years ago now? But
yeah, let's not say that. Let's.
Well, but I mean,
6 years. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I loved that game. I wish I could still play it, and I blame Magic for breaking my heart, even forcing me to play that game.
I get blamed for all of it. Yeah, Raging Altaholic says this game seems rigged in chat. Legitimately, in the show notes, all it says is host catch up and show memories. Some questions that may be posed to hosts can include favorite free-to-play game of all time, favorite free-to-play cast moments, which we'll get there a little later. And it does not say anything about me even asking them to predict each other's things. So they had no clue that portion was coming, and nobody else altered the show notes to add what they were going to say. I'm absolutely, Nostradamus. Yeah, it's 9 Nostradami. Nostradamodes? Odes? It's U.S. How's that work in Latin, Jason?
Well, Nostro kind of means like our, like, that family Nostro. So it's sort of like our Damus. I don't know. Our Dominas. I don't know. Nostradamus. There we go.
No.
Nostradamus.
It has an S on the end. It has an S on the end. It ends in an I.
Nostradami.
Nostradami.
All right, so let's start talking about some free-to-play cast great moments here.
Wait, one question first. We didn't get your favorite free-to-play game.
Oh, yeah. So my favorite free-to-play game of all time would be Secret World Legends as well. It was just absolutely... I'm very sad that it became Legends, but at least it was living and seemed like it was going to be updated, but it died a premature death.
Until they ran off the last of the three creators, and then it just went wow.
Yeah, there is absolutely, Stojan, a connection between the hosts here, all 9 of us. All right, so let's get to some of these things.
Not between me and Wilfredo.
Yeah, they're not between Wilfredo and you, no. Fortnite. What a terrible guess. What a terrible guess.
Well, mine was only a half a connection, so
it's
all I guess was story.
It's still better than, hey, Wilfredo, how you would love in that Fortnite.
You put me on the spot, and it was the first thing that popped into my mind.
It was wrong. It was wrong. Kiri wants to know, Brim, this one goes to you. Do you remember breaking your laptop while raging doing a SWOTOR raid? And I heard Havoc snicker right there.
So I vaguely remember breaking it. I also remember vaguely blaming somebody else.
You did. There goes Havoc again. Havoc, do you remember who he blamed?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite moment. Like, the whole story surrounding that shit was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
We remember not vaguely.
Yeah, so I was talking to Brim on the phone, prepping to see if he was going to do the show, was going to be able to schedule-wise and everything. I said, people are going to want an update to that story because you are still with the same woman.
Yeah, I married that person.
Yeah, you married that woman. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get away with breaking anything in your house and blaming it on your significant other and they stay with you, keep them.
Yeah. He had books up on her textbooks, her college textbooks. She had textbooks up on a shelf above the desk, and he raged at the Eternity Vault in SWOTOR's raid because the last boss bugged all the time, and he got pissed.
That raid used to be very rage-worthy.
Oh yes. Yeah, remember the platforms would sometimes load and sometimes not, and if they didn't, you just had to jump down to the bottom and die and start over. Like there was no way around it. He raged and slams his hands on the desk. He told this story on the cast. We were dying. Knocks the shelf off the wall with the force. The textbooks crush the laptop and break it. And he tells his girlfriend, now wife at the time, or now a girlfriend at the time, now wife, that, oh yeah, I got to buy a new laptop. Your books fell off the wall and broke my laptop.
I mean, I didn't lie. They did fall off. I just kind of left out the root cause of what happened.
Seems like how they fall. And I remember him, seems like, I don't know. I guess you just put too many up there. It was too heavy
They're
for the...
just heavy as hell. I don't know. They're college
BioWare broke your
textbooks.
laptop.
Now, was this when you realized that you should start working out more because you could put even more force into your blows?
No, if anything, I needed to calm the hell down.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? When I did that, I would have liked to have broken the desk too. Let's go lift.
Well, you got to give him a little bit of credit. You know, he was still trying to figure out how strong the force was within him.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. I have a little memory queued up here for particularly for Demina and Brim, but for all of you.
Oh my God.
So back in the day, this show was done on about a $9 budget, and 8 of that was a cheap call center headset mic, and the other $1 was to crack Pamela's Skype recording software so that we could record calls with cracked, stolen software. The audio was obviously far less than what it is now, quality-wise. So I do apologize for this little clip I'm about to play, having lower quality. But it is what it is. There was an episode that Brim, Demina, and I were going to do. And in the pre-show, it was all recorded, right? We just recorded the audio. We sent it to the site owner, and the site owner just threw gameplay video over top of it for whatever topics we were talking about. This is before, we even edited them ourselves. And so we discussing things pre-show, catching up, saying hi and all that stuff. And Brim, what was it? It was your wife. There was some topic about one of you. I can't remember who. Whether she asked you or you had asked her, like, had they pooped recently, and why?
I remember.
Havoc's just losing it.
My memory's just not that good.
It was one of the two of you wasn't feeling well. Your stomach was hurting, and one had asked the other, "Well, have you pooped lately?" I don't remember in which direction, though. That's the only thing I don't remember is which direction.
I hope you know what direction you pooped in.
So I took advantage of that to start the recording, and I did the typical intro, hello, internet, that whole thing. But I changed it up a little bit, catching Demina and Brim off guard. Now Brim knows where I'm going with this. Yeah. Brim, you will not believe this. I still have that recording.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to. You won't hear it through the Discord call, so you might have to listen to the stream if you want to hear it. But I'm gonna play this couple of seconds here. Demina and Brim we'll see if it sparks. Whoops, I didn't mean to move Q's camera. Sparks any memories for the two of you. So here we go. Listen to this. Hello, internet, and have you pooped lately?
You asshole.
Let me stop the recording.
Oh my God, I fucking hate.
Demina not happy there, deciding that she hates me. Havoc, I guess, listen to the recording. Go ahead, Demina.
Oh my God, that is my favorite free-to-play cast memory. That is my favorite
that
one.
Never
and I'm
aired.
not even gonna lie. I knew that you had that because there have been times over the years where we will just randomly be like, hey, remember when this happened? And so I have heard that before today. Not recently, but I have heard that since then before today. It is still just as funny today as it was when it happened. I don't even know what else to say.
It is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. One of my favorite moments, Brim.
That's funny.
Still have the recording. I'll send it to you.
That's impressive too.
You can give it to your wife. Valentine's is coming up in a few months.
She's gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Chat does want to know, though, Brim. Have you in fact pooped lately?
I had to, just so I made sure that I could make this call on time.
Yeah, you got to do the pre-show poops.
That's right.
The PSPs, the pre-show poops. Jason nodding. Q deciding she doesn't want to do this anymore. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk you through some site changes that are going to be coming up either this weekend or early next weekend. Some big news on the MMOBomb front. Lots of stuff being updated. Now, we have teased this before. Every couple of years, 2 or 3 years, the site owner redoes the site a little bit, cosmetically updates it, changes it, updates the views and things like that, just to look, keep it current, right? Mix it up a little bit. That's going to happen again this weekend or early next week. However, there is an awful lot going on actually behind that if you're a follower of MMOBomb, you need to know about. We have, over the course of the last 6 or 7 months, rebuilt the entire back end that powers MMOBomb to custom ground-up built software. No longer utilizing WordPress or any services like that. We are customized from the ground up to do a ton of different things. So not only are you going to see a cosmetic change, obviously an update panel there, but you're going to see a lot of feature changes as well. In addition to going to the game pages and leaving your things like reviews, you will be able to interact and vote up and down all other different reviews. There's going to be a login feature that allows you to track the games you're playing and get recommendations on other games that fit that same mold. You'll be able to upvote, downvote comments. There's also a connection API system we're putting in that's going to allow you to tap into MMOBomb to feed to your Discord or to any MMO-related projects you have. There's so many, I can't give you all the features. There will be a post on MMOBomb.com taking you through all the ones that will be there at launch and then the ones that will be there shortly after because it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. No, I could say his name. The site owner's name is Luis. I say the site owner because if I say Luis, people go, who the hell's Luis? Yeah, it's not to hide his identity. Hell, there's an Ask MMOBomb episode where one of the questions that we talk about is who owns the site, and we go through the whole history. So that's an old show, too. But yeah,
he's in some old videos too, back from Gamescom and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. When the two of you went to Gamescom, not Louise, Louis. I think Luis, pronounced Louise, Portuguese. Okay, not Louise as in a Southern belle named Louise, Louise, Luis, Louise. So yeah, in addition to that, our coverage scope is changing. Finally. Jason, thank God. We have been asking Luis for years to open up MMOBomb beyond free-to-play. And this is not a new discussion. Spunkify, you and I had this discussion with Luis
I was wondering.
multiple times. Can we open this up? And he always wanted to keep it niche, free-to-play. He didn't want to make a smaller IGN or something. And we always saw that point, but we always wanted to open it up beyond that. So we are going to open up our coverage scope. But you're not going to find single-player games and, the newest Assassin's Creed. Well, maybe the newest one if that does what we think it's going to do. But Assassin's Creed and God of War, no, that's not going to be covered here. MMOBomb will be sticking to its MMO or MO roots and become strictly multiplayer. Whether it's free, box fee, sub, it won't matter. We will cover it as long as it is a multiplayer online game or has a very dominant multiplayer online component. We won't cover Call of Duty, but we would cover Call of Duty Warzone to help make sense of that. So that opens up a ton of coverage. Yes, I'm happy because it gives me the ability to talk about Final Fantasy XIV on MMOBomb finally. Jesus, it's been forever. But there's going to be a lot of, updated first look videos and stuff like that. We hope you will join us and that you will look forward to all that coverage. The free-to-play cast will continue. However, it'll just adopt a new name. So it'll just evolve in line with our scope of coverage. So big news there. Let's slide over and do some weekly bombs. 9 hosts, so you'll have to... Whoops, wrong panel. 9 hosts, so you'll have to forgive me for keeping viewer bombs to a minimum and question of the week responses to a minimum this week. I didn't want to keep everybody for multiple hours. Obviously, I'm going to start things off with a dub bomb. It is one that I'm sure everybody on this panel or who has ever been on this panel shares. So we'll say it's from everybody, even though I'm the one giving it. And that's obviously a dub bomb to all of you watching. Whether you've watched for the 8, 9 years that we've done this show or watched other content or come on over to MMOBomb.com. We certainly appreciate it. There's no point in doing it without you. So a huge da bomb to you. 400 episodes. Thank you so much. We very much appreciate it. Jason.
Well, I knew you were going to do that for your dub bomb, so I have to bring everyone down now. I'm doing A bomb instead.
Well, there's going to be more. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah. A bomb to Roblox for the stuff we're learning about how they look to be exploiting their child laborers basically and paying them in script. Basically they're talking like it's 1890 is how they're running their business, and it seems really shady and icky. And there's a really good video someone did, a guy named Quentin Smith. He's got his own channel. I forget what it's called, but we put that on the site and talked about it a bit. So go check that out if you want to get a look at
not good
get a look
stuff.
at the grimy underside of Roblox.
Yeah, not good stuff. Not good
And also a
stuff.
minor A bomb to you, Mike, for not showing my little clip that I gave you. But you know.
Oh, we haven't gotten to the favorite moments yet.
Oh, okay. I thought that was it. Okay, I thought we did that.
No,
All right.
we haven't
never
gotten to the
mind.
favorite moments yet.
Never
No,
mind. Okay.
no.
All right,
Look
all right.
look down at the question of the week. Hosts will
Okay,
go through
okay.
their choices first.
I thought we did with your thing of.
No, I just wanted to cue that up since it
bookshelf thing.
remembered
Okay.
what we were talking about there. Q,
All right,
go
all
ahead.
I'm giving it the bomb to the new Genshin stuff that's coming up, so I'll have something else to do really soon.
September 1st, huh?
Yes, very excited.
Troy.
Da bomb to MMOBomb, finally moving past just free-to-play games. I look forward to be able to talk about New World, especially going forward.
Yeah, you want? I was going to ask you actually, so I'll put you on the spot now. I assume you want the first look for New World.
Yes, please.
Okay. You ever going to finish that Splitgate one?
Someday.
Someday. Someday. Wilfredo.
I want to. I'm giving an A bomb to.
You're getting a little choked up, a little emotional, my friend. What's going on?
Yeah, I want to give an A bomb to Alice Online because it's still alive.
Oh my god.
That's terrible.
Cool.
I know it's mean, but it's still alive.
They just
yet
had an expansion
Wildstar-
not that long ago.
Yeah, yet Wildstar is dead. What?
One of them made money.
What in the world brought
Don't-
Allies Online back into your stream of thought?
This is the weird thing. I saw it on Steam and said, "That's still alive."
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody.
A lot of that this week. We were talking about Ica Online and Conda the Night Seal. There's a whole lot of
Continent of the Nice Seal. Like I can't remember the last time I got a press release for them, and all of a sudden it's in my mailbox this week. Oh,
Yeah, we've done C9 stuff like in the
Occasionally.
past several months.
occasionally. Let's go to who do I have next here? I don't know. I lost my place. Damina, you're up next.
All right, I gotta give an A bomb to Rocket League because I want to be good at it so bad, and I'm just not. And it's the only game, and this is a big, big thing. It is the only game that can make me swear almost as much as Frogger does.
Oh my God! If you remember the Frogger and Frogger 2 games on the PlayStation 1, right? Yeah, they had the classic Frogger in there, but it was a platformer that you had to get through different levels. That I would have to take the kids to the store, like when they were young and she was playing that, because it was just, the swearing, like sailors blushed, sailors
Listen.
blushed. Some of
I
the
can't
most
help it, it
foul
got roasted
words
for my
you could think of came out of her mouth.
That's true.
And now Rocket League does the same.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Except the kids aren't little anymore, so they just think I'm ridiculous now.
So now we don't have to censor things.
Yeah.
for them.
They just sit there and look at me like, "Oh, my mom's crazy," and it's fine.
Havoc, what do you got?
Uh,
Oh, jeez. That's a good start.
it's definitely a bomb. And it's something that you had talked about. I don't know if you did it on this show or whatever, but
Partially, yeah. We did a little bit.
yeah. I'm gonna say a bomb to Blizzard. I spent tons of money, subscription fees, expansion packs, all of the collector's editions, and had I known that any of that stuff that they're being accused of was going on, I would have not spent that money. If they have
Ooh.
one of the accusations, just one, if one of them is true, that's too many. And I was actually contemplating getting back into World of Warcraft because you and I had that conversation about, the expansion came out and Burning Crusades was now their own servers, and so you could redo Burning Crusades. And then I hear about all of this stuff, and I'm trying not to swear, but F them. Like I said, if even one of those accusations is true, just one, and there's tons of them, one is still too many. And I feel terrible for spending money, giving this company tons of money. Subscription fees, like I said, I didn't just buy the expansions.
No, you were Warcraft baller.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy the collector's edition and a regular expansion, so I didn't have to open the collector's edition. So they got twice the amount from me, and it's unbelievable the shit that they pulled that they thought was okay. So F them.
Yep,
That's
and I
my
don't think
A-bomb.
anybody on this panel disagrees with you. Spunkify.
That's a good one.
Well, I mean, he kind of stole my,
To be fair, none of the hosts knew each other's bombs either, so if repetition is totally fine.
I don't really have too much to add to that, other than it having worked in the industry, it's not entirely surprising. I think that actually happens a lot in a lot of well-known and lauded studios. It's simply a matter of how much it actually gets out.
Yep.
So I'm in the same boat that I've been a big-time Blizzard fan for a long time, but not only from the allegation perspective, but also just from the quality of content perspective.
Yeah.
Blizzard has fallen pretty far. I would argue that the Blizzard that I grew up with and that I came to enjoy, just from a pure staffing perspective, doesn't even exist anymore. Right? Like the original people who sort of like made those memories aren't there. So I look at it both from they're not producing good content, and because they're not producing good content, it's much easier for people to focus in on what they're doing on a personal level, right? Because if you're doing something well, and I think this is just a reality of the real world, if you're doing something really well, then a lot of times things get brushed aside or not looked at, scrutinized as much, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's only fitting that this is actually happening to them because they're kind of on both ends, right? On both sides, not really living up to fan expectations, So that was really it. So to add some my own, the bomb, right? I would definitely give that to Final Fantasy 14. Or I should say A bomb, right? That's the good one.
Oh no! Dub bomb is
Need
the
the
good
chart.
one.
We got
Okay.
We got this thing.
Okay, there we go. Just because, I mean, in comparison, right? I was in the same boat. I was a huge World of Warcraft fan. I played Classic, really enjoyed my time in Classic from the community perspective and the meta that kind of came out of that. Came into TBC fresh with the same perspective. It just wasn't the same at that point. So I switched over to Final Fantasy 14, and it's been a really nice change of pace to level up without having to grind 20 boar butts, It's entirely story-based, and I'm getting levels. It almost feels like leveling is not the main, it's not what's most important, right? I'm leveling up just because I'm progressing through the story. I don't have to make it a point to, collect 20 quests in the area, and that's what will push me over the level, right? So I've been enjoying the fights. The fights are getting more complicated. The story is pretty good. Overall, the community aspects, the sheer number of emotes available for people who are really into the expressiveness of their character, just a lot to really like there. So, I mean, I haven't actually purchased the game, so I've been playing it purely as a free-to-play player, and having reviewed a ton of games that really severely limits you as a free-to-play versus a premium player or a subscription player. It just feels like I'm playing the game naturally, right?
Yeah.
Their only thing is there's a few social features I don't have access to. So I've just been really enjoying my time, and I'm going to give a bomb to that.
Well, welcome to the game. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you.
As the Final Fantasy ambassador that Square Enix has officially made me. Brim, finish it up.
All right, so I have to put a little asterisk on this because as somebody who has not been playing hardly any video games for the last 5 years, I do still watch a lot of live streams just to get my fix. So, with that being said, I'm giving an A-bomb to Project CD. Do you know who that is?
I know Project CD
CD
Red.
Red.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, they developed Cyberpunk
Yeah.
2077.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. They had a golden opportunity with everybody being home last year and really bringing everybody together
Yep.
and playing a game that was in development for 8 years, and it was supposed to be this amazing thing, had so much hype behind it, and the hype is probably what killed it, and then they brought out a broken game. So
Yeah. Pretty bigly broken. Broken. From chat, real quick, Terra Nova, dub bomb to the free-to-play cast, reaching 400 episodes with such great hosts over the year. Thank you, Terra Nova. That's very nice of you. Stojan, dub bomb to Spunkify and all the hosts for this wonderful 400 milestone. Old Glory, dub bomb to Mike for hosting this show and investing time to make it to 400 episodes, and every single other host. Thank you all, and let's go for 500. Kiri saying dub bomb to this amazing community, made some great friends here. That is good to hear. We like hearing that. Over on YouTube, I'm just going to give one or two of these. We won't throw them around the panel. We got to finish up here. RS Jabber, bomb to Blizzard's art team for amazing remakes of Diablo 2 cinematics. That's the quality that I actually wish we had across the whole company. And X Rizzo saying Blade and Soul are too little too late. Been waiting on the Unreal Engine 4 upgrade for years now, and I stopped playing the original game long ago. Became way too grindy with progress events all over the place and stale. I did enjoy it while it lasted, though. And finally, we're going to finish up with just everybody's kind of your favorite free-to-play cast memory, and I've got one or two here from the viewers that we'll go through quickly here. Jason, I kind of already gave mine in the context of earlier, so we'll go to you. Let me know when you want me to hit this B-roll.
I mean, I've had a couple. I've made a few jokes here and there throughout the show, occasionally.
Every once in a while.
But the one that always sticks to me is the one you're going to have queued up right now, because I got great comment. I looked at the YouTube video of it when I was looking it up to try and get you the tag for it. People even commenting in chat. I remember it was such a simple thing, and I thought, whatever, just a little thing I'll do. And you responded to it, and then I got all the comments in chat, we didn't do it live back then, but in YouTube and so forth. And I was like, that was so low effort, and I got a great response from it. Why do I even bother trying anything? So.
Let's show you that exact
Go ahead.
moment that he's talking about. At the end, but also to introduce him, Mr. Jason Winter. How are you?
He said he likes a lot, but not all of it.
Not
apparently.
all. Hey,
No.
hey,
I just want to remind everyone, though, that with all the new privacy stuff going on, the GDPR and whatnot and all that, I just want to remind everyone, this website uses cookies.
Yeah. Super Monday Night Combat bites the dust in a week because of that stuff. Go ahead. Also on the... Yeah,
Low
Jason
effort,
and his
but
cookies.
I know. I didn't even I don't remember. See, sometimes I'll get my little pre-show joke. I'll have that thought out like a day or two in advance, maybe. I made cookies. I didn't do it specifically for that. And I don't recall when I actually decided. It was 5 minutes before. I was like, oh, let me grab a cookie and we'll do. I think that was it. I think it was 5 minutes before. I was like, hey, if we had GDPR news, I'll grab one of those. I'll just do that and do this little thing. And it was a masterpiece.
I guess I do have another favorite moment, though, and that was when Demina got into a comments debate argument with somebody on YouTube because they were making fun of the way she spoke. Because she was dealing with...
Oh my God, still mad to this day.
She was dealing with hearing herself. She wasn't used to hearing herself monitor style, and so it was coming, and it was delayed for whatever reason. Way back in the day, the tech sucked. It was literally $15, and so she just kept talking like that because she could hear herself a few seconds later.
Oh, terrible.
And somebody made fun of her in the YouTube comments, and she blasted them, and they just went back and forth for 5 different posts. Q, favorite free-to-play cast moment?
This is actually kind of relevant, and it's partially because I can't remember that far back on most shit anyway. But Jason's entire "what's an edible" thing.
Yeah, Yeah, that was
That was just
fantastic.
so
Spunkify,
funny.
go watch. Was that last week, Q, or was it the week
It
before?
was last week. I'm pretty sure.
Just
I'm
go-
gonna have to look at that.
Go watch the
It was
first
so-
15 minutes.
Mike and I just ended up going,
Are you
serious?
serious? Like, you don't know what an edible is? Like, we were giving a PSA letting people know that, hey, don't worry. People aren't giving your kids edibles for Halloween. That's shit's expensive. They aren't giving that away.
They're not gonna give their $50 edible.
No, your kids are fine. And even if they were, it's just some weed. Shut up. Troy, what do you got?
I had been on the show just long enough to let it be well known my disdain for TCGs.
Yeah.
And we had a Hearthstone news segment on a show, and I was just you were getting into the segment, and I was just waiting around to do the typical, hey, it's Hearthstone, I don't care.
Right.
And you just introduced the Hearthstone news and just throw it to me.
Yes, I did.
And I'm just like, bro, I didn't read that shit. Like,
I know.
I have no idea what the news actually is. And I had to admit that on air.
Now, Magic
does
Man.
that all the time, though. He
Magic Man,
does it-
I see Jason playing Hearthstone all the time. Why didn't you give it to Jason?
Because I knew Troy had not read the show notes.
He does this intentionally.
I do.
He does it to me.
Yeah.
Like, read the show notes. I give you every link that you're going to need so you don't have to do any research. You just got to read what I put there. That, and I know he hates TCGs, so of course I'm going to let him go first.
Well, that and like 98% of games, he's like, Jason, this is right up your alley. About it. I know you must love this sort of thing. So tell me what you think about it. I'm like,
I hate
I've
it.
never played this sort of thing, but I have no clue.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Wilfredo.
So I got two of them. The first one's real quick. It's a callback right before Kaylin left. She mentioned bacon wrap pork chops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To this day, I still do those up because of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other thing was episode 58, because that was the very first time I had ever done a podcast with anybody. And it was with you and Sajira. And
Wow. Yeah. You were a guest viewer host back then.
yep. And to me, that's probably a really big moment when it comes to MMOBomb in general, because it's like, wow, they're inviting people in. This is unheard of. So yeah, that's a big one for me.
We still do that. I mean, you can email me as long. The only requirements, they haven't changed. English has to be primary language. That's just because of the nature of the recording. Sorry. And your audio has to be decent. I mean, that was really it. But
You
yeah.
have to be dressed from the top up.
Yeah, you don't have to wear pants as long as like your camera isn't pointing at your pants. I don't care.
You even have to have legs.
Yeah, you don't have to have that legs.
Yeah,
Zach
doesn't have legs.
does send his love though. By the way, he couldn't make today's show. He's in Berlin doing he's on like a couple weeks vacation through Europe. So, but he does send his love to
How
everybody.
terrible for him.
Damina, go ahead. Favorite free to play cast moment.
Oh, well, you played it earlier. It was definitely Have You Pooped Recently?
I thought so. I thought so.
There's nothing more that could still make me laugh like that all these years later when it happens. So, that's mine.
Fantastic. Havoc, what do you got? I think he
Havoc
deafened
first.
himself.
Headset's muted.
It does show his headset muted. All right, we'll slide over and do Spunkify first. We'll come back to Havoc.
Jesus, I was actually sitting here looking back. I was like, when was the last time I was actually on a free to play cast live stream? And looks like around like episode in the 70s. That's when I was last on here. So it's hard for me to remember 300 episodes ago what my favorite moment is. But I just remember just cracking jokes between you and Jason, really.
Yeah.
The three of us, right? Just having
We used to have Shady occasionally too, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah. Gosh, it's been so long. It's really hard to go back 9 years and be
Yeah.
like,
You were on later than that. 'Cause I started around the 70s. I remember we did episode 100 and actually brought Mike
Yeah,
on.
I was a
Well,
guest on the
host.
free to play cast for episode 100.
So you went into the
That's
hundreds
right.
at least. And
That's right. Yeah, it was a while. I know it was at least a couple of years worth of free to play cast there. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and to see Mike, just to see you how far you've taken it since then. I gotta give you props for just leading the charge here after the fact.
That's nice of you, sir.
I did want to quickly say, Jason, just because I know back at the time we would talk about Hearthstone a lot. You know, it's funny that we're still talking about Hearthstone to this day. But I've been seeing you playing a lot, and I knew I was going to be on the show with you, and I had to just say that I finally reached Legend a couple of months ago, and you were the first person I thought of because I didn't know anyone else that had consistently played Hearthstone as long as you and I had. So.
If you or if anyone else, anyone on the panel, anyone watching on the stream or on YouTube, whatever, if any of you want to like at me on Twitter and say, "Hey, I just did this cool thing in a video game," go right ahead. Do it, whatever. I don't care. I want to hear how awesome you are. Me, I'm like still like Angry Chicken 10 or whatever in Hearthstone. So
You've been playing a lot of the battlegrounds, right?
No, I hate that mode.
Oh, never mind. Not Nostradamus across everything.
No.
There you go.
What do you got, Brim? Finish it up.
Man, I mean, you're asking me to go way back, and I'm gonna describe something that isn't gonna make sense. And if you don't remember it, it's gonna make me look like a crazy person.
Oh shit! The pressure's on. I got to remember this now. I
had made a comment about some video game and them doing sexually explicit content to their customers. And one of our followers had made a computer animation to that podcast.
Oh my God, yes, I do remember this.
I don't remember who it was. I don't even remember the context. But if you can find it and post it somewhere.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to dig, but I think I can.
Oh, I think you have that.
Do I?
I think so.
So you'll have to tell everybody to stay tuned and pick that up later.
Yeah, I'll have to tweet it out or something. Tamina, if you think I have it, yeah, we'll tweet it out. I'll have to go watch it again to make sure whether I tweet it from MMOBomb or just tweet it from my own account. Well, we'll have to get a quick double check on that one. I think Havoc is missing in action. He sent me a message, but I can't look at it without getting the cameras up. From the viewers, very quickly, Wilfredo, take that first one. I just think it's appropriate that you take it.
Sure, because it's from Tikal 2399. Favorite moment of the cast was Wilfredo pronouncing my name correctly. A feat that has never been done before or since by the rest of the crew. So, Tikal, I got you.
That's great, Alfredo.
RS Jabber says, it's hard to
really,
pick a best moment, but from recent episodes, my favorite segment was MMO Jeopardy. We will be doing that again. That's kind of like a standby for us now when there's really dead weeks with no news.
And unlike Real Jeopardy, we'll keep the same host.
Yeah. Oh. Damn. And Raggerty
Ken dirty.
Raggerty says, congrats on the 400th episode. I don't really have a question for any one host, but I want to say thanks for reading my old man style ramblings for the question of the week, dub-bomb, A-bomb segments. Always look forward to each cast. Thank you so much for that, Raggerty. With that, ladies and gentlemen, there is no more question of the week. That's going to be moved to being strictly on Free-to-Play Weekly, hosted by Ethos, who also sends his love to everybody. So watch Free-to-Play Weekly for your question of the week. We still, however, even migrating to a different name for the show and, different coverage scope, we still do want your weekly bombs. We will be keeping that. So make sure on YouTube or over on MMOBomb.com, you head into the comments and leave us your weekly bomb. Dub bomb for something great, A bomb for something bad in the world of gaming, or just in life in general. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute blast catching up with all of you. I'm so happy you were all able to make it. Brim, is there any social presence you want people to follow? I've just been putting at MMOBomb under some of you, but if there's a Twitter or something, go ahead and plug it real quick.
So yeah, that's totally fine. We did start a homestead sort of Instagram thing, I guess. So if you want to follow us at Cardinal Hills Homestead, you'll see pictures of all of our animals, and you'll see me working around the farm, just goofy stuff, nothing fancy. But yeah, if you're really interested in it, it's out there.
Havoc will, of course, recommend Ready Check Radio if he were here. He's doing stuff over there with me. That's my other side project that got started during COVID. We're having a lot of fun there. Go ahead, Spunkify. Where can anybody follow you, or that you actually will tweet or say something to them, if any?
Truthfully, this is gonna sound just totally detached from.
You're just
everyone,
out of it.
but I'm just out of it. I manage a ton of Instagram and Facebook stuff through my businesses, and then that's my interaction with social media.
Go ahead and plug the business. If you want to give the
Sure.
name, you can.
Sure. So in California, we're under Green Bean. So green beans like you eat. So it's Green Bean. And then out in Maryland, we're under Sunburst Farm. And farm is spelled PHARM, like pharmaceutical.
PH like fat farm.
Exactly.
That is one fat farm, man. Love it. Damina.
I don't really use Twitter or anything, so I'm gonna tell everybody to go check out Ready Check Radio because a lot of hard work has gone into that right out of this household over the last almost year here. So if
That's
you like
why.
what's
That's
going
why
on
you get
here,
a
go check
spouse,
it
by
out
the way.
there.
You just, hey, I need somebody else to plug my stuff that isn't me. So want to get married? That's why you do that. No, but thank you. Wilfredo.
You know where? Twitter at Damien X Marys.
Troy.
Go up on Thursdays right here, MMOBomb /Twitch TV or Twitch TV /MMOBomb, whatever it is. Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern. I stream.
Yeah,
games.
it's MMOBomb.com/Twitch TV. We own that.
Yes.
We own
Shut
that.
up.
Q.
On Quinlan at Twitter. On Twitter at Quinlan.
See, we own Twitter too.
Yeah, we on Twitter now too. Where pretty much you'll just, see me yelling about TV related stuff and hear few things to do with games.
And finally, Mr. Jason Winter.
The same stuff as usual. Whatever.
There we go. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at magicman1 on Twitter, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb so that you get tweets about all the latest streams, free-to-play casts, giveaways, first look videos, news, interviews, and so much more. It's been a blast. Here's to another 100. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.